Earnest money, what is it and why is it used? Earnest money is a sum of money that the buyer puts down to demonstrate their seriousness about buying a home. In most cases, the earnest money acts as a deposit on the property the buyer is trying to purchase. In most cases, those funds are to be made out in a check and delivered right after the purchase agreement has been accepted. Depending what's stated on the contract depends on who holds those funds. A lot of times it can be either the listing agent's broker, the selling agent's broker, or even the title company. Those funds remain in a trust or escrow account until closing. That's when they get applied to the buyer's down payment or closing costs. Alternatively, the buyer can receive those funds back. In a perfect world, that's how it happens. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What happens when things go wrong? Let's just say the buyer changes their mind. They found another home they like better. At that point, that seller will be able to keep those funds. Let's just say something happens with the seller and they can no longer sell their home. The buyer will receive those funds back. But what happens if that buyer had a home inspection done and there's something crazy on it? Say they're no longer interested in the home. Say it's too costly for them to keep. What happens then? What happens to that earnest money? At that point, if buyer and seller both agreed to sign the mutual cancellation, chances are those funds go back to the buyer. This is just a very brief overview of how earnest money works. Everywhere is different. You may want to check with your local real estate professional to see how it works in your area. I always recommend researching before you give out funds. Once again, this is just a brief overview. I hope it's helped. I hope you're informed.